Hello beauties, welcome to Jazzed Up. So today I'm just going to show you how I do some fun stitch braids. So when you do styles like this, my main go-to is always to find my middle part. No matter what my style is, the middle part always helps me to keep the symmetry going on both sides. So today, as you can see, I'm doing my sister's hair and I'm parting straight down the middle. Even though I'm going to get into some fun parts, but I always make sure I go down the middle. Now, for beginner braiders, a fun trick to parting and getting good parts is that you part halfway across the head, and that way you can see the back and the front. When you get to the nape of the neck, it's important that you part a little bit slimmer. So now you can see I used the straight part and then I went into my squiggly part. I always love to put a little jam in the part, not too much product, just a little bit, and then go back and really define my parts. It just gives a cleaner look. If you try it, trust me, you'll see the difference. As you can see, I'm doing my little squiggly lines, and you just have to make sure that you're being as consistent as possible. Most importantly, don't forget to have fun during this process. So now we're going to get into the mini braids. Now, because my client's hair was a little bit thinner, the braids did not come out as I really wanted it to, but you can still use this technique and apply it to your own braid styles. So these little braids, or I like to call them the accent braids, they just give your style a more unique flair, just a little more sauce on your braids. So yeah, I'm doing it on every time the braid goes out. I braid the braid. Oh, I know it sounds difficult, but what I was meaning to say is that as you can see, when the braid curves out, I then just braid around it. So you'll see me repeat this step until I get to the bottom of the braid. And then we'll start getting into the fun part, which is the stitching, which happens to be my absolute favorite. So when it comes to the front of the braid, I always like to swoop the edges back. That way we're not having too much tension in the front of the braid. And because we need our edges, girl. I don't know about y'all, but I need my edges. So I like to swoop them back in the braid. And then when we first start braiding, I cross the braid at least 3 times before I start stitching. And as you can see, I do have my favorite tools, which is my pinky rings. I did get them from Amazon. If you want me to send the link, just comment below. And so as I'm stitching, I do grab from one side and then I go to the next side. And I'm adding the hair, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm adding the hair in slowly as I braid. And when you stitch braids, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much hair in the braid, because if you put too much hair in the braid, you will not see the stitches and your braid will be loose. So another key tip is that you want to keep your elbows up when you braid. That's going to help you to have a tighter grip on the braid. And as you go along, make sure you're adding a little jam to each side of the braid as you keep going. And most importantly, do not forget to have fun. The key to this is much practice and consistency. That's one thing I learned. You practice and you just keep doing the same thing over and over, side to side, little product, side to side. And before you know it, you'll be a stitching pro, trust me. If you guys have any more questions on how I achieve this look, please feel free to DM me or comment below. And again, I did not record the whole process because I had some technical difficulties. However, I am more than happy to share with you guys if you have any questions. So on this side, I did more of like a swivel or S-shaped style. And then the other side, I went and I did a zigzag style. This is my first time doing this style, so I hope you guys like it. And let me know if you want to see any more looks.